Joining me now is Representative Francis Rooney, Republican from Florida and former U.S. Ambassador to the Holy See. Welcome back to the program, sir.
Thanks for having me back on, Lauren.
In less than a week, President Trump has moved from threatening Saudi Arabia with severe punishment to saying there should be no rush to judgment about its involvement in the Khashoggi disappearance. What message do you believe this sends, and does it add to the perception that the U.S. values business relationships above all else?
Well, I don't have any problem with what he said this morning, that recounting that Saudi is a strong and long-standing ally in a counter to Iran and all that, but that also that we need to get to the bottom of this and get all the facts. What I'm hopeful for is that we're going to have a clear and transparent presentation of all possible evidence that could be adduced.
There are reports that Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, when he was visiting Saudi Arabia, that they made good on their pledge of $100 million to the U.S. to help stabilize parts of Syria liberated from ISIS. What do you make of the timing of that payment? Is it just coincidence?
I think it's highly suspect timing. And again, we need to get to the bottom of this and not shrink from doing the right thing like we would to any other country around the world that commits these kinds of atrocities, if in fact the Saudi leadership is complicit in it, and not make an exception just because of our special relationship with them.
The U.S. defense of Saudi Arabia now also seems to put the Trump administration, which just secured the release of American pastor Andrew Brunson from a Turkish prison, at odds with Turkey to produce video and audio evidence of its claims that Saudi Arabia murdered Khashoggi. So as a former diplomat, what is the balance the U.S. needs to maintain as the Turkish and Saudi investigations play out?
Well, it sounds like the Secretary's trip to both Saudi and Turkey was reasonably successful in engaging both of them in the joint inspection. Now we need all the evidence. I think we need to say this is a global concern and we need all the evidence. If Turkey's got a tape of what they think happened, then they should serve it up.
You are a proponent of the, you always talk about the Magnitsky Act, going directly after individuals who made criminal decisions and carried them out. What if that can't be determined? Who's responsible for the disappearance and murder? Would you be in favor of applying this to Saudi officials?
Sure, absolutely. Like I said, I don't think we can deal differently with Saudi Arabia if, in fact, their leadership or their people perpetrated some kind of crime like this than we've done with Russia or Korea or Iran or anybody else.
And today, before we let you go, as a former ambassador to the Holy See, President Moon Jae-in he was a Catholic, met today with Pope Francis and extended an invitation from North Korean President Kim Jong-un to visit North Korea. What's the likelihood the Pope will accept the invitation?
You know how this Pope is. He very well might do it. And I'm not so sure it'd be such a bad thing. You know, we have such a strong Catholic community in South Korea that maybe there's an opportunity to make things better for Catholics in the North, combined with President Trump's tough diplomacy, which has brought more attention from the North towards peace.
Thank you so much for your insights, Representative Francis Rooney, Republican from Florida, former U.S. Ambassador to the Holy See.
Thanks for having me on.